Hello, friends, family, and my well-being and worth community. How are you all today? Welcome back to my first Wellness Wednesday for 2022. Um, yes, I think if you followed me, was it a week ago? It feels like 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I had just, I think it was my first time back on camera from being sick in my family. We had a whole bunch of, we had a flu, then we had a COVID cases in my family. And so it was just one thing after the other through the end of 2021. And here we are trying to get and into the beginning of 2022. It was no fun getting back into the swing of things either. And so I'm here this Wellness Wednesday to talk about, what to do when you are recovering from bad flu or the coronavirus. Both of them have things in common, and they're things that you as an individual get to do to make this as easy as possible. And I think there just aren't a lot of reminders about this. I know I certainly spoke to lots of friends and family who had battled with both this holiday season, and we shared notes. So I'm coming here today to talk about those notes. Everybody, you hear this a lot when I talk on my channel or in my Facebook group, Weight Loss and Wellness, a 360-degree approach to thrive. Rest. Like, number one thing you really want to do is to make sure you're getting good quality rest. And surprisingly and dauntingly enough, for my husband and I, our rest has been severely impacted from the coronavirus, meaning that we cannot stay asleep. It's a very strange phenomena. I would love to know in the comments if you're suffering from an odd sleeplessness, and especially if it's not customary for you. And it wasn't customary for my husband, and it's worse for me. So it's definitely been something that I've been wrestling with and reaching for, natural supplements to help me get a good night's rest. So I'm really looking to know what you guys have been doing, how you've been helped. I know I'm taking melatonin, it helps me get to sleep, but I'm not necessarily staying asleep as much as I would like or getting into deep sleep according to my little monitoring apps, right? So, but you got to do your best. And if that means taking naps, I really encourage you to do that. Uh, Bad influenza, the coronavirus, we had both, and everyone had to rest. So if you are having trouble with that, get some assistance because the body needs that time to check off and regenerate, amplify what's good, and get away what's bad. The next thing is your nutrition, dialing in your nutrition so that your body can do its job and help you and mount the best response it can to help you get over it quickly. Holiday time, not everyone's eating the best because they're eating all the yummy things you've been waiting all year to eat for Christmas or, for New Year's. And so they typically involve sugar. And all of my well-being and worth people know I love to talk about sugar and how to make the best of life without lots of it. So, the holidays come and people tend to get sick because they're consuming more sugar and it depresses your immune system on a lot of levels. And I'm not going to go into all the different ways. Come into my Facebook group and we talk about it a lot. And I even have a little primer on how to help you get over it's not your fault addiction to sugar. We just are weaned on sugar here in North America, most Western states, but I digress. So the best thing you can do while you're in your recovery period is to keep that sugar intake low, and to really fuel your body with yummy things that are good for you and easy for your body to access. So what did I just reach for? You can't really see it. So instead of tea, I drink a lot of bone broth. My poor family has had beef bone broth and chicken bone broth, and then more chicken and then more beef. And we just go around and around and around on this soup. I say soup crusade. I'm a soup crusader. I love soup. My family is getting sick of soup. But it really helps warm up the body from the inside. You can add all kinds of aromatics that help you fight infection, like ginger and onion and garlic. And it has protein because, of course, it comes from some animal source. I'm not as well versed for those people who are like, what about us, the vegetarians? There are a lot of great vegetable broths. You can do the same thing, add the same aromatics to them. Um, I like twofers because I need to get my protein in. So this is how I elect to do it. Um, if you're up to it, add some lentils, and definitely puree them if you want something a little easier in terms of digestion and swallow that and have at it. But this has definitely been my chronic companion throughout the 14 days of really being under the weather with that. So we have sleep, we have omitting sugar. I would also strongly encourage you to do as little gluten as possible. If you're not already gluten free, now's a good time to ditch it if you can. And heck, if you've lost your taste and smell, it's easier. I guess that's a caveat. That sounds a little crazy, but it's true. Um, I think that uh, not having yet one more thing for your body to have to work uh, to digest and work around really, really helps. And of course, the last one on the list is avoiding dairy. So you can see why bone broth or some kind of vegetable broth is really key during this time. So if you're like, oh, so she lives on this, well, we did because we didn't really want much else. I knew everyone was getting better when they were like, I'm hungry. And just recently I felt hungry too. So yay us, we're getting through this. So avoiding inflammatory foods because you're in a state of inflammation, so you want to avoid anything that causes inflammation, and the top offenders are sugar, gluten, and dairy typically. And so we have your sleep, we have your flooding your bodies with lots of good nutrition. We are definitely on a supplement uh, rage here in our family. We're supplementing a lot of vitamins and known antioxidants that help bite, beat down the inflammation. So definitely we're going to continue to do that. And I'm going to encourage you, even once you are out of the woods and are no longer infectious, if you're still feeling tired, please treat your body as someone in recovery. Don't go rush out and run around and think you can just jump back into what you were doing. I think the present that both of these viruses leave, the flu virus and coronavirus, they leave this fatigue. And if you must mind the fatigue, you must nourish your body in such a way that it gets plenty of sleep, gets plenty of rest, and high quality nutrition as much as you can stomach and stand in the way of soups and things like that, because your body is still building itself back. And I have had lots of friends and people who are in recovery, and it took several weeks. So be kind to yourself is number three. Be kind and patient that it's going to be a process and that you will overcome this in this by being patient and kind to your body and giving it what it needs when it asks for it. This is zero time to be superhero, supergirl, or super stressed, because the last and final thing is managing your stress. It is frustrating. I'm frustrated that I don't have my normal get up and go, and I want to get out there and do all these things. And I have to remember, okay, this body went through a kind of shutdown for 2 weeks. I can't expect it to turn on like that and come right back. So I'm sharing this with you so that you will be kind and empathetic to your own body so that it can come back to its more vibrant state as quickly as possible, because you're giving it all the tools at your disposal to make it do so. So there are your 3 or 4 tips. Mind the brain fog. Your mind might be a little foggy, and that'll also have to be okay. And you'll also have to be patient with that. So good nutrition, good sleep, really manage your stress, try to avoid stress as much as possible, and good nutrition, sleep, rest, and managing your stress. They're always the four pillars of health, and they remain that way. And so, as you're getting stronger, there's a fifth I want to add. I want you to get out and move and get some vitamin D on your person. Yes, you're probably taking it as a supplement, but please try to get it, even if it's a little cold. Take off your hat, get it at least on your face, as much of your body as you can stand if it's cold where you are. And if it's not cold where you are, try to expose more of your surface area of your skin, to get the activation from the sun to help naturally augment your vitamin D levels, because your immune system needs that vitamin D to go in and help with the massive cleanup that it is doing to put you back on the road to recovery. So there's the fifth thing. And if it's four, pardon me, because I didn't write this ahead of time. Oh, I did, but I didn't number them. So I don't want to look down. Anyway, we're back. I would love to know what else you'd like to know, maybe for next week for Wellness Wednesday. Certainly more about how to bolster immunity. If that's something that you would like, let me know, and I will prepare appropriately what I think are good tips, tricks, and systems to put in place to do that. So move a little, rest a lot, eat really, really well, and I hope to see you bouncing and at your best in a short order. Okay, so with that, everyone, have a great rest of the Wednesday. It has been fun to be back, even in my limited capacity. I feel a little underwhelmed myself, but you know what? Taking it one day at a time. We all are here, and we're getting better every day. So with that, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys soon. Take care.